wanting tangible things, that Black Friday turned into tragedy because in upstate New York there was a Walmart employee that was trampled to death, all because we were focusing on gifts instead of focusing on the great one. Many have already received Christmas catalogs in the mail. Children are excited, and we as adults, we're even excited. And we look in the catalogs and we see things that we want. We see things that we desire. We see things that we desire to have for Christmas, and we can't wait for Christmas to arrive so we can receive the things on our list. And I stopped by to tell you this morning, there's nothing wrong with that. But I want to step back in time this morning and tell you that the Christmas catalog is good, but somebody in here ought to have a praise for their Thanksgiving catalog. What do you mean? The Christmas catalog is a list of all the things that you want and that you desire. But the Thanksgiving catalog is a list of the things that you already have. Woke you up this morning, started you on your way, watched over you all night long in the midnight hour. Somebody ought to get excited for the Thanksgiving catalog. It's filled with just blessing after blessing. But it's in this time of year where we get impatient. We can't wait to open those gifts. And deep down on the inside, we don't want to wait, not just for Christmas, but we don't want to wait for the everyday things in life that we have coming our way. When we look at the third definition in Webster's dictionary of the word wait, it means to remain temporarily neglected or postponed, meaning that our wants should be temporarily put away if it causes us to be impatient. And the question is, how many times a day do we look at our watches? How many times a day do we look at the clock? We get so impatient about everything, and patience is difficult for us to have in our culture because we want what we want right now without any question, without anybody saying anything. And we're always trying to figure out how we can obtain these things. And the thing is, even in this obtaining of these tangible items, we don't want to wait. There's a church in Miami, Florida that advertises a 22-minute church service. It's 8 minutes for the prayer, 8 minutes for the sermon, and the rest is, tedious stuff. Now, don't get happy because we'll never have nothing like that here. But a 22-minute church service, because they're impatient. They don't want to wait. And there are a number of different definitions that people have come up with as far as what patience is. We're going to look at a few of these, get into the text, and then we're going to go home. Patience is the ability to put up with people that you like to put down. Patience is accepting a difficult situation without giving God a deadline to remove it. Patience is the ability to bear trials without grumbling. And in this text on today, the Greek word patience, wait, means to cheerfully endure. And the other word means long-tempered. So in other words, in order to be patient while waiting on God, we have to be cheerful. And like James said, count it all joy. And not to be so quick to get angry and upset because help is on the way. Turn and tell your neighbor, help is on the way. Turn and tell your other neighbor, help is on the way. And God is saying on today that he will give us strength for our future. But there are some things we need to consider. Number one, in this walk, we're going to get tired. And number two, you're going to encounter some obstacles. The text here in chapter 40, verse 31, that Isaiah talks to the people of God, and he tells them, despite of what they are going through, they still have to wait. Understand that the book of Isaiah is said to be the Bible all in one because there are 66 books in the Bible, but there are also 66 chapters in the book of Isaiah. And the book of Isaiah is divided into two parts. Number one, confronting the people of their lifestyle. And number two, comforting the people to let them know that God can save them. And we want to highlight that on this morning because that's what ministry in the church is all about. We are supposed to confront when wrongdoing is going forth, but we're also supposed to comfort to let them know that even though you did wrong, Jesus can forgive you. But churches, we don't want to confront anymore. We want to hear the feel-good sermon. We want to hear the churchy sermon that took us up to glory, but nobody wants to live holy. We don't talk about living holy anymore. But in this, there has to be confrontation. What do you mean? As a church, oh God, Thank you, God. As a church, we need to confront some of these men that are out there on the streets claiming to be pimps. Somebody needs to confront that, because you know and I know that it's not of God. But how many of you know that being a man ain't about having a bunch of women on the side and having money in your pocket, but being a man is about getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, going to work when you don't want to go to work, taking care of your bills and taking care of your responsibilities. There needs to be confrontation. Who will confront these athletes, these young athletes? Plaxico Burress, a receiver for the New York Giants, shot himself in the leg when he was in the club. How stupid is that for you to shoot yourself in the leg in the club? Do I have a witness in here? Somebody, the church needs to confront some of these things that are going on. I'm a role model. If you're a role model, first of all, you wouldn't be in the club. Second of all, you wouldn't have a gun in public. Somebody needs to confront what's going on right now in society. Young ladies, stop giving yourself up for nothing to these little young fools that's out here on the street. Well, Reverend, you don't understand. I want a man to take care of me. You don't have to have no man to take care of you. Be like the other strong women that's around you. If you want a job, go get a job. If you want money, get a job to make the money. If you want a car, go out and get your own car. Go out and get your own. You don't have to depend on no man for no stuff. How many know that you didn't depend on no man for what you have, but it was nobody but God who gave you what he gave you? Do I have a witness in here? See, I feel that this morning. See, we need to quit messing around with these nuts that ain't doing you no good. See, sisters, let me help you with something here. You spend $100 to get your hair done, $75 for an outfit. We'll spend $20 in gas to get to the club. Pay $5 admission to get inside the club. Once you're inside the club, sit on a bar stool. It's only worth about $5 to talk to a man that ain't worth a quarter. It ain't worth it. You need to learn how to stop messing around with all this mess that's going on. It's terrible to say, and it's a shame that we don't want to confront anymore. The other night I was talking to a friend of mine from Hopkinsville, and he was saying that he and his wife, they love their daughters, and because they love their daughters, so they know that their daughters are going to talk to boys. So what they did is they put their daughters on the birth control pill. I said, why would you put your daughter? Well, you know, it's